All right, so I just got done with episode 12. Only one more to go after this. The big season finale. I'm gonna say series finale because I don't see Iron Fist getting a second season. He'll be in Defenders. Maybe he'll make cameos in other Netflix shows, but I really don't see this doing well, I could see it doing well enough to get a season 2, but I don't know if they'll do a season 2. But anyway. This episode was pretty good, actually. I'm not going to lie. This one was one of the better ones. It's probably just as good as the one from a couple episodes ago. It was a good little penultimate, I guess. Stuff happened. Of some stuff that's very predictable, but I thought it was well done enough. I saw pretty much everything here coming, just like in every other episode. The dialogue itself was still pretty meh for the most part. It got a little bit better. The acting's a little bit better. Some of the side characters I'm starting to like more and more. Still main character, not so much, but whatever. I mean, who needs a main character for who cares, right? I don't care. All right. So the first thing that happened was Ward. We finally get to see Ward in the beginning of this. He is in the mental asylum. He is drugged up. He is having a relapse, and he's having a nightmare of his father. Like his father's there, and he's like, no, he's having nightmares of him. And Harold is just like, I'm gonna eat you, son. It was a really goofy way to start the episode, but it was effective because I thought it was kind of funny. So I thought it was effective. I guess it did a decent job of showing someone that's going through relapse. I guess he's sweating. He looked pretty shit, I guess. So I guess it wasn't like a bad depiction of that, but it's not really what it was going for anyway. Bakudo shows up to Ward while he's strapped up in a mental asylum and makes a deal with him, tells him that if you let me do stuff with Rand Enterprises or whatever, then I will help you kill your father, which is what he really wants to do. He's been haunted by him. He wants him to die. So Ward says, yeah, sure, especially if you get me out of here and you help me save my sister Joy from my father, then I will. And he makes that deal. Davos and Colleen have a big misunderstanding, I guess. Well, not really misunderstanding. Davos doesn't like the Hand, and Colleen's part of the Hand, so Davos, immediately doesn't like Colleen because she's part of the Hand. They have a little argument or whatever. That was kind of a thing that happened that I really didn't even mention. It was just a small scene, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Ward goes to Harold to get Joy. When he does, there's a little thing that happens where Bakudo comes in a little bit too early. Ward's supposed to take Joy out of there, leave before Bakudo even shows up, and Bakudo will kill Harold, of course, but he shows up before, and he makes a whole thing where he shoots Joy in the lower abdomen, and tells Danny, hey, look what I just did. I shot this girl. If you don't get here in 30 minutes, I'm going to let her bleed out, and I'm going to kill Harold, too, with this nice-ass sword. So, of course, Danny has to rush there. And there was almost a second where I really thought they were going to kill Harold. And Harold, this time, if he got his head cut off, he would stay dead. So I really thought this would be the end for Harold, but luckily Danny shows up right at the last second, okay? Not that Harold is a good guy, he's not, but he's my favorite character, so I don't want there to be nobody I really like, for the most part, Colleen I like, even Davos I kind of like, even though he's one note. I don't know, who else? I like Ward now, Ward has grown on me. Joy's okay, I guess. I don't hate her as much as I used to do, even though she's still very, very hit or miss, mostly miss, but I don't hate her, I guess. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happens there. Danny does show up. Danny surrenders. Bakudo wants to use him for whatever his plan is going to be. I'm sure he mentioned it, but I just, forgot because it's probably generic anyway. And he actually, Danny couldn't summon the Iron Fist for the last couple episodes, and here he concentrated and he summoned it, and he broke through his chains because he was chained up, and he's about to punch someone, and then the Iron Fist goes away. He can't use it anymore, so he just has an extended fight scene with a bunch of Bakudo's goons and Bakudo, and also Colleen and Davos show up to help him, and it's a nice little fight scene. I don't know why the fight scene decided to, when it was just Bakudo and the Davos, Colleen, and Danny, I don't know why they decided to switch the location, because when it's only Bakudo, he runs away a little bit but he doesn't like run. He just runs to a different location. He just goes over here. He's like, now we'll fight here. I'm like, okay, why? And they have a fight, and at one point I thought Bakudo was gonna die, even though, I mean, they're trying to build this guy up as like a villain, you know, and we barely know the guy. We've known him for like 2 episodes besides this one, like, so I guess 3 episodes, and we don't really know him, so if they're gonna kill him right away, I would have been like, really? But they stab him in the gut, they stab him, Davos ends up stabbing him in the heart, and it looks like he's gonna die. But later on, his body is just gone, so I'm just assuming he's not dead. I just skipped over a bunch of stuff. There was actually a sword fight that was actually really well done between Colleen and Bakudo. So sensei versus student. And she wins, of course, because Bakudo does get stabbed. And then Davos stabs him because he doesn't like the hand, of course. Danny didn't want to kill him because he's not against. I mean, he doesn't want to kill, even though it's the hand, and that's the one thing he said. Like, I must destroy the hand, but he didn't want to. Colleen didn't want him to either. So Davos did it. Davos leaves. He has a misunderstanding with Danny, of course, because you know their 2 ideologies or whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't really mix anymore, and they have a little fight. So Davos leaves and goes back to Kung Jiao or wherever, and he leaves. So, and also that's when Bakudo's body just disappears. So I'm assuming he's still alive. Either that or someone came and picked him up. But I'm sure he is still alive. We then cut to Harold and Ward bringing Joy to the hospital after she got shot. I'm assuming Joy's going to be fine. And Harold is a dick, but a lovable one. He's in the waiting room in the lobby of the hospital, just watching all these sick people going like, man, these people suck. I thought at first he was going to feel kind of bad for these people, but he's just like, nah, these people suck. I hate humans. And then he like mocks someone that's coughing at one point. I mean, he's a dick, but I love him. And obviously he's changed since he died because he wasn't really like this before, but now he's like super dick. But I kind of like it. I don't know. He's a good villain, I think. And Harold actually plots to kill Danny in the same scene. He's pretty much like, yeah, we don't need to, or not actually, it's a scene after, but still. And Danny is, or Harold wants to kill Danny for whatever reason. He just wants to. And it's revealed at the end that the DEA comes to Danny's dojo as Danny and Colleen are like training or whatever, and they're having a moment too, like, oh, they love each other, and they break through, and yeah, Danny and Colleen fight them off easily, but that's where the episode ends. So good episode, good penultimate for the most part. It had some good action, some good moments. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's good. So I'm gonna give this one I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. You could say that for a lot of the episodes. You know, they're okay, but you know, they're not great. 7 out of 10, there's some good fighting, there's some good choreography, some decent moments, even though it was predictable. I liked it, and also I like the Harold stuff. I just really like Harold. Even though it was predictable. That's just how I like it. I like it predictable, baby, I guess. I don't know. There you go. That was episode 12.